Good evening. Coming up on News Central, the recently reported racial incident on Central Michigan University's campus has sparked attention, and a news conference was held today. We have the details.
And the Student Government Association is holding president and vice president elections today. I'm Lauren Stanton in for Angie Schramsky.
And I'm David Scott. News Central is next.
John Spitzley with weather, and Todd Cox with sports. Live from Central Michigan University, this is News Central.
The University Center on Central Michigan University's campus was host to a press conference today.
The Association of Faculty and Staff of Color sponsored the media event that sparked interest from all over mid-Michigan. The association was stated that the university has deeply embedded racism in their athletic program, and they are asking that a whole reorganization take place immediately. Today's press conference that was held at noon by Professor Robert Newby and the Director of Financial Aid Cheryl Spivey has concerns of the importance of the recently reported racist incidents on campus, such as certain protests and the Coach Keith Dambro incident that resulted in a 4-day suspension. The association feels that black student athletes are here merely for exploitation in the progress of boosting the university's public relations. The Association of Faculty and Staff of Color is a new organization in which asking many things of their programs, such as informing black recruits and their parents of all sports, male and female, that the athletic department at Central Michigan University tolerates the practice of racism and the degradation of black student athletes. And inform black alumni of Central Michigan University that this institution continues to tolerate and perpetrate racism in spite of actions of those alumni that work to correct these problems. And thirdly, to inform black legislators that the recent incidents of racism at Central Michigan University are a part of a larger climate of racial intensity and acts of discrimination on this campus and the community. And lastly, the request of a full investigation of the racial practices of CMU's athletics program by the Rainbow Coalition's Task Force on Sports. Tomorrow in Pierce Hall, the Academic Senate will be hosting a meeting to discuss such issues on CMU's campus at 3:30 in Pierce Hall. These issues and others will be topping the meeting.
Voting began today for the Student Government Association elections, with ballot boxes set up in both the Park Library and the Bovee University Center. SGA hopes for a larger voter turnout. Voting took place from noon till 2 p.m. and will also take place from 4:30 to 6 p.m. today in the dining commons of Merrill Sweeney, Trout Calkins, Barnard, Walt Emmons, and Southwest Quad.
As far as I've seen as the elections director, there wasn't any slander or tearing down of other people's flyers or whatnot. I'm happy with it, happy with the turnout at the debate, and very pleased with the way things are going to this point.
I spoke with students on their concern over student government elections.
This is my 4th year here. I really don't know a whole lot about the student government, and I'd like to see what kind of representation they can present to the campus community. So I'm trying to get more involved and find things out about the candidates and find out what issues they're standing for and just how much say they're going to have in what goes on around here. So,
my major concern right now is diversity on campus. We're having a lot of problems with that right now. That's evident with the basketball coach incident, also with the track coach incident. I think both candidates have an agenda which pertains to those. My biggest concern with their agendas, though, are in how they wish to go about them.
Students can also vote tomorrow from 4:30 to 6 p.m. at these dining commons: Thorpe, Beddoe, Robinson, Lars O'Lear, Barnard, Sachs Herrig, and Southwest Quad.
One thing that I would like to say, and I've said it again, and I'd like to say it again, is that next year I would like, instead of hearing "we'll look into it," I'd like to hear the administration say "we'll take care of it."
The Faculty Association is continuing their bargaining with the administration despite some snags. Many issues regarding the contract have been negotiated, but others are creating more difficulty. According to FA bargaining team co-chairman Charles Eisler, the university is regressing on certain issues instead of moving toward a compromise. The administration wants to write many details such as official hours into the contract. Eisler claims issues such as job and discriminations are too burdensome to write into their contract. However, he remains optimistic about the progress that has been made. The current contract expires in June, and negotiations have been ongoing since February.
Central's image has become a top priority for many students and faculty on campus and has become the main concern for the Academic Senate. A survey conducted by the National Institute for Organizational Research showed that Central rated higher in terms of overall environment and career preparation than Michigan State, Western, Eastern, and Michigan universities. Many incidents have occurred since the survey, such as the party school image and the current racial tensions in the athletic department. The Academic Senate is scheduled to meet tomorrow.
Central Michigan students and the campus alike are preparing for commencement ceremonies on May 8th. New Central's Rod Wankel has the story.
Springtime weather upon us, students' thoughts are of many things, but some students are gearing up for what is the pinnacle of the college experience, graduation, which this year will be held at the Rose Arena.
The university decided last year, after a scare we had with the rain, to move the commencement ceremonies inside so that there's no confusion as to where the ceremonies are going to be.
This year's graduating Chippewas will have 3 separate commencement ceremonies in an attempt to allow more seating for friends and family who will be flooding into the Mount Pleasant area hotels, many of which have been booked for 3 months. The nearly 3,000 prospective graduating students will receive 3 times the number of tickets given out only 1 year ago.
They will all have the opportunity to pick up 6 commencement tickets so that mom and dad, brothers, sisters, maybe even grandma and grandpa will be able to come. And it's possible that if there are tickets, extra tickets available, they might be able to get a few extra tickets. We don't know yet how that's going to work, but that's possible.
Even though Rose Arena may be empty right now, on May 8th, look for these seats to be filled to capacity as commencement begins. Rod Wankel, News Central.
The Mount Pleasant City Commission may once again try to put restrictions on summer fun. The commission meets at 7 o'clock tonight at City Hall to discuss warm weather safety measures regarding swimming and skateboarding. One proposal would ban skateboarding in the downtown area. The other would prohibit water activities within 200 feet of a dam where a Carson resident nearly drowned 2 summers ago. Commissioners are meeting with skateboarders to negotiate some sort of a compromise. One proposal is to designate an area or park reserved just for skateboarders.
And John joins us now for an update on the weather forecast. So what's up with the weather?
Oh, well, Lauren, all the clouds have moved out of the Mount Pleasant area. It looks like it's going to remain dry for the next few days. I'll have all the details coming up in just a little bit.
Okay, and coming up, the Jackson State Prison had a number of officers stabbed this morning.
And an 11-year-old girl in Kent County wants to remain with her custodial parent when her biological parents want her back. Stay tuned.
Told you before we went to see the kids to wrap them water pipes with insulation.
Yeah, should have listened.
And didn't I tell you to leave the doors under the sink open?
Yep.
And leave the heat on?
Yep.
You know, if you'd done all them things, we wouldn't have had to rip out the wall-to-wall carpet when we got home.
Yep, I know.
And we wouldn't have drowned the Victrola.
Yep, should have listened.
Oh, fool.
Oh, I got one.
Having the right resume is vital to your future career. That's why you need a resume from Copy Corner, your professional resume headquarters. Copy Corner will help you every step of the way, from writing to layout to printing. And you'll end up with a resume to impress any prospective employer. For one resume or 100, you can't beat our prices, high quality, or fast service. So for a professional resume, contact the experts at Copy Corner, located in Sadler Square, Big Rapids, and the Cinema Plaza, Mount Pleasant.
Personally, I learned about the disease and all the implications when my brother was diagnosed. And it was a harsh reality. I had to learn a lot very quickly. Even though I thought I knew a lot about AIDS, the picture changed when it became a family issue.
If I, the son of a Baptist minister from basically a rural area, can acquire AIDS, anybody can.
Obviously, women can get AIDS. I mean, I'm certainly here to witness to that. That it's not a we-they disease, it's an us disease.
AIDS is not a problem that affects other people. AIDS affects us all. Know the facts about AIDS. Know how to protect yourself and your family. Tell others. For answers to your questions about AIDS, call 1-800-342-AIDS.
An Elma man was scheduled to be sentenced today on charges of sexual misconduct involving a minor.
Esme Rodriguez' sentence was delayed until May 10th. Rodriguez pleaded no contest in March to the charges, which carry a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. The charges stem from an incident involving a teenage boy for which Rodriguez has been jailed since September. His jail term served since then will be appealed to his sentence next month. Gratiot County Prosecutor Mark Gates says the judge delayed sentencing in order to explore sentencing options with Rodriguez. Another case involving children's rights was in the news today. A Kent County Circuit judge has ruled that an 11-year-old girl has the right to sue to remain in her adoptive parents' custody. Apparently, the biological parents handed the child over to the adoptive parents, but it remains unclear whether the custody was supposed to be permanent. Jenny Yang has claimed that her biological parents abused and neglected her, and she wishes to remain with her custodial parents. The judge says minors have rights that are separate from their parents. The next step will be a trial which will be decided in the best interest of the child.
Officials at the two Upper Peninsula high schools have canceled AIDS education programs after learning that one of the speakers is gay. The programs were requested by the two principals 2 months ago and are sponsored by the Midwest AIDS Prevention Project. A local radio program called Nighttime Prayer Warriors broadcast the news that the speaker, Stephen Wood, was gay and called parents to protest. The MAPP received calls from irate parents saying that they, quote, didn't want queers or deviants in school, unquote. Wood says the incidents of homophobia concern him, but not as much as the lack of education for students about AIDS. Michigan schools may see some school finance reform as soon as this summer. A state panel today approved the ballot wording for a proposal to place a school finance program package to voters on June 2nd. The constitutional amendment would revamp the state's school finance system by coding property taxes and raising the sales tax from our 4 cents to 6 cents. Proposals introduced last year failed in the November election. The school finance reform package will be titled Proposal A.
America Honda has announced a recall today that will affect about 45,000 Accord wagons. Owners of the wagons from model years 1991 to 93 are being asked to take their cars to a Honda dealership. The problem seemed to be in the rear seatbelts. Apparently, when the car is parked at a steep angle, the seatbelts don't work properly. But when the car is moved to level ground, the belts operate as expected. No injuries have been reported because of the condition. The recalled cars will be fixed for free by a Honda dealership.
A news conference today in Bloomfield Hills has one Operation Rescue activist balking at a $10 million lawsuit filed by a widow of one of Dr. Jack Kevorkian's patients. Activist Lynn Mills says she has an ethical obligation to prevent assisted suicides, and she's not going to back down. Mills filed her response today to the lawsuit filed last month by Hughes Gale's widow, Cheryl Gale. Mrs. Gale claims accusations by Mills and others caused her mental anguish and emotional distress. Mills maintains her First Amendment freedom of speech rights and contends Hugh Gale changed her mind about suicide and that his pleas to take off a carbon monoxide mask were ignored. A probe of Gale's death was launched by Macomb County authorities after Mills gave them a document she found in the trash can at Kevorkian's assistant. The document mentions Gale asking to have the mask removed.
Correction officials in Jackson are breathing a sigh of relief today after an uprising at the state prison in southern Michigan. Just after 10 o'clock this morning, 4 people were stabbed, all of them employees of the prison. Police have not arrested any suspects, but they have found 2 homemade aluminum knives and are searching for more weapons. The names of the officers are not yet being released. Apparently, they are hospitalized in fairly serious condition, according to correction spokeswoman Gail Light.
At least 6 prisoners are dead after a riot yesterday in a maximum security facility at the state prison in Lucasville, Ohio. About 450 inmates have taken over a cell block, and authorities have said that they will let prisoners talk to reporters only after they release one of the 8 guards that are being held hostage. After NATO's first day of enforcing the no-fly zone over Bosnia, Navy Captain Jim Mitchell says so far there has been no problems. Mitchell says he hopes the operation will soon become routine, while allies have assigned approximately 60 planes to guard the skies over Bosnia from unauthorized aircraft. According to NATO officials, the planes will fly alongside violators, order them to return home, or force them to land. Violators will be shot down only as a last resort. As hundreds of children gathered at the White House for the annual Easter egg roll, President Clinton expressed America's need for child immunization funds contained in his $16 billion jobs bill. Republicans have blocked the bill, saying that parts of it are just pork barrel spending. The president says that with the United States having the 3rd worst immunization rate in the Western Hemisphere, the children are the hostages of the Senate filibuster. Clinton says the $300 billion for shots in his jobs bill will immunize 1 million children this summer.
Coming up on News Central, Todd Cox is in with a look at baseball's action this past weekend.
But first, John Spitzley will let us know if the sun will stay with us. He'll have his forecast next.
Stay tuned.
Long ago, in a place where there was nothing, something incredible began to happen. As the centuries passed, a beautiful forest blossomed, and all was well. Then one day, a man was careless. And once again, there was nothing.
That's my dad. And that's Mom. Dad's got an idea. A way to get rid of all the grody garbage that's polluting the world. He's invented a big rocket ship to shoot all the garbage into outer space. Mom's not sure. But Dad says his invention will save the world.
There's an easier way to save the world. Recycle. For your free recycling action guide, write Recycle. Environmental Defense Fund, 257 Park Avenue South, New York, New York.
Do you live like this? Crowded, overpriced, distant from campus? Why? When Arthur's Village offers affordable, spacious apartments close to campus. Residents especially like the large bedrooms and ample living space.
I have so much room here at Arthur's Village I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. Now I have room for all my stuff.
Arthur's Village apartments are not only spacious, but affordable too. With 9-month leases and low summer rates, Arthur's Village meets students' budgets.
Arthur's Village is so affordable that after paying my rent, I have enough money left over to do the things I enjoy doing.
Arthur's Village economical 3- and 4-bedroom furnished apartments are also close to campus.
I just had a rough day of classes. I'm ready to go over to SAC, work off a little tension, playing some hoops. And since I'm so close to campus, I can be there in a few minutes.
Arthur's Village, spacious, affordable, close to campus. Located at 722 West Broomfield. Call 772-2163 for more information.
Good evening, everybody. Under mostly sunny skies, we have a temperature of 48 degrees. Our dew point's at 23, giving us a relative humidity of 34%. The barometer is falling at 30.08 inches, and the wind is out of the northeast at 6 miles per hour. You see, our normal high for today should be 54. We're right around that mark. We had a record high of 81 back in 1977, and our normal low is 35. We had a record low of 19 back in 1950. Let's take a look at our national map. We have a stationary front off to the south. There is nice weather off to the south of that front, and off to the north there is showers and thunder showers being kicked off. There is a warm pocket of air that's causing a little turbulence up in the upper atmosphere, and that's causing those rain showers. There's also rain off in the east coast from a low pressure that just doesn't want to move. It's been stationary for the past 3 days now. But for us, we're in the sunny skies. We should remain that way for the next couple of days. Our clouds will increase a little later on as this front pushes off to the north, and we see a low trough of low pressure moving through. If we look at our temperatures for tomorrow, you see our highs should get into the 50s. With all the sunshine, we may even push 60, but I think we'll stay in the upper 50s. You can see there is a patch of 40-degree temperatures off to our west that's associated with that low pressure trough. Let's take a look at the state map now for our current temperatures. We are stuck at 46. It's a little bit warmer off to our south, temperatures in the 50s, 52 in Detroit. And off to the north, it's a little bit cooler with temperatures in the 30s. If we can take a look at the forecast now for tonight, we'll remain clear to partly cloudy and a little bit cool as lows drop down into the 20s. And then for tomorrow, sunny and a little bit warmer. As the sun warms up the air, we'll see temperatures in the 50s, maybe pushing 60. And for our extended forecast, calls for partly sunny skies on Wednesday, and our clouds will be increasing Wednesday night and into Thursday, and a chance of rain on Friday with temperatures in the 50s and lows in the 30s. So dry weather for most of this week anyway.
Thanks, John. That doesn't sound too bad.
Okay, Todd Cox is next with a sports update. Stay with us.
Having the right resume is vital to your future career. That's why you need a resume from Copy Corner, your professional resume headquarters. Copy Corner will help you every step of the way, from writing to layout to printing. And you'll end up with a resume to impress any prospective employer. For one resume or 100, you can't beat our prices, high quality, or fast service. So for a professional resume, contact the experts at Copy Corner, located in Saddler Square, Big Rapids, and the Cinema Plaza, Mount Pleasant.
Honey, it's Mom. Please let me in. I'm worried.
Learn to see the signs of mental illness. 2 out of 3 people who get help get better. For a free booklet, call the National Mental Health Association.
Everyone has their own idea of a hero.
Magic Johnson. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Mr. Neal.
My hero, Gloria Estefan.
Martin Luther King. Mr. Hope.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes. They've given them hope. They've given them choices. They've changed their lives.
Well, the children are the heroes.
The most fulfilling thing is watching a child succeed.
I just like to help them make their dreams come true.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. If you want to make an impact on our future, call 1-800-45-TEACH.
Mr. Wilkins.
Mrs. Eisenhardt.
Mr. Adler.
Be a teacher. Be a hero.
Todd Cox joins us now with sports.
Todd, CMU couldn't play today, but they had a big weekend series.
Yeah, a little big disappointment today, but they did have a big weekend series. Good evening, everyone. The CMU baseball team was supposed to play Grand Valley State today in a makeup game, but it got canceled. But the Chips saw lots of action this weekend as they took 3 of 4 games from Akron. Central won Friday's first game 5-1, lost the nightcap 2-1, and then on Saturday the Chips swept the doubleheader by scores of 5-0 and 5-1. Central has a 2-game lead over second-place Bowling Green in the MAC. The Chips have outscored their MAC opponents 45-8 in 8 games they have played. They travel to Kalamazoo tomorrow to play rival Western Michigan in a double dip. Well, turning to the major ranks, the Detroit Tigers played their home opener tomorrow as they concluded their 6-game road trip out west yesterday with a 7-6 loss to California. As we travel to the Big A in Anaheim, the big man, Cecil Fielder, as we have Piston highlights. I don't know why we do, but anyways, the Angels beat the Tigers 7-6. Scott Livingstone hit a home run in the 9th inning to make it interesting for the Tigers, but not for naught. Detroit comes home for the home opener with a 2-4 record. Elsewhere in the American League yesterday, Kansas City down Minnesota 2-1. Rookie Phil Height hit his first Major League home run, enabling the Royals for the first win of the season. Cleveland outdueled Toronto 10-6. Thomas Howard had 4 singles and 3 RBIs, and Carlos Baerga hit a 3-run homer, helping the Indians trounce Jack Morris and the Jays. Texas down Boston 4-1. Texas right-hander Kevin Brown, just off the disabled list, pitched 7 2/3 innings, allowing only 1 run, and Dean Palmer hit his league-leading 4th home run. Chicago down New York 6-4. Joey Cora hit a 2-run triple to help the White Sox avoid a 3-game sweep. Oakland pounded Milwaukee 8-2. Sean Hilligas pitched 6 shutout innings, and the Hendersons, Ricky and Dave, hit home runs for the A's. And Seattle squeaked out a 7-6 win over Baltimore as Jay Buhner's bases-loaded single in the 12th was a decisive blow in enabling the Mariners to come back win. In the senior circuit, Cincinnati held on to beat St. Louis 4-3. Roberto Kelly had 4 of the Reds' 17 hits, which were all singles. Atlanta shut out Los Angeles 3-0. Atlanta's John Smoltz and Mike Stanton combined on a 4-hitter. For Stanton, it was his 3rd save, and for Smoltz, his 1st one of the season. Philadelphia shut down Chicago 3-0. Kurt Schilling pitched a 4-hitter to help the Phillies take a 2 out of 3 games from the Cubs. Schilling had 8 strikeouts and only 1 walk. San Francisco down Pittsburgh 4-3. John Burkett won for the 2nd time this year, and Matt Williams hit a solo shot, which turned out to be the game winner. Houston edged New York 5-4. Chris James went 3 for 3 and drove in 2 runs as Houston gained its first sweep in Shea Stadium in 10 years. San Diego down Florida 6-2 as Fred McGriff and Tony Fernandez had 3 hits to pace the Padres. And Montreal bombed Colorado 19-9. Rookie Mike Lansing had 5 hits, including a home run to prevent the Expos from getting swept by the Rockies. Well, the Detroit Pistons played without Joe and Isaiah yesterday in a 106-94 victory over the Washington Bullets. Detroit has now won 6 games in a row as they have tied Indiana for the last playoff spot as the season is winding down. Let's go out to the Cap Center in Landover, Maryland, as Tom Guglielmo will go the baseline for the easy 2. And Isaiah here will go for the steal, but he gets called for the foul, and he does not agree with the call, and he goes, "What's up with that?" And so all of a sudden he just throws a ball against the backboard, and the ref was very nice to give him a technical. Isaiah got another tee later in the game, and he went to the locker room. And then Terry Mills posting up, and then on the fadeaway hits the 2, and the Pistons are on top. And then in the 4th quarter, as Harvey Grant plays with Dennis Rodman, but Dennis gets a last laugh, goes to the hole, gets the foul and the bucket. The Pistons go on to win at 106-94. Alvin Robinson led the Stons with 26 points as he stepped up to take Isaiah's place. Detroit will try and extend their 6-game winning streak as they will host the Chicago Bulls tonight at the Palace. Turning to the NFL, well, the NFL was in Jacksonville, Florida today to see if it qualifies for an NFL franchise as they got the once-over today. The NFL plans to announce 2 expansion cities this fall. Jacksonville is the final stop for the expansion officials who already have visited Baltimore, St. Louis, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Memphis. And finally, a couple of free agent signings yesterday. Shane Conlon, a 3-time Pro Bowl linebacker, is leaving the Buffalo Bills to play for the Los Angeles Rams. Conlon has accepted a guaranteed 3-year deal worth $1.8 million. And the Chicago Bears agreed to terms with Craig Ironhead Hayward, formerly of New Orleans. Hayward's deal is worth $3 million for 3 years plus a $200,000 bonus each season if he reaches accepted weight levels. The Bears are sending an apparent farewell message to fullback Brad Muster. And LT, Lawrence Taylor, signed a 2-year deal to return to the Giants today. And that's it for sports.
Okay, thanks, Todd. That's it for News Central. Thank you for joining.
So the weather looks nice.
It should remain dry for most of this week. We look at a possible chance at rain on Thursday night and Friday, but for the most part, we should remain sunny and rather warm.
It was nice out there today.
Beautiful out today.
Yeah.
And Tigers have their opener tomorrow.
Home opener tomorrow. It's always a big event for down Detroit or any baseball fan down in the Tiger Stadium. So it's good. It'll be nice to see the Tigers back home.
Okay. Well, that's it for News Central. Thank you for joining us.
Good night.